Okay, this is the latest coming in as far as the Jallikattu Rao is concerned. More than 80 people, mostly spectators, are believed to have been injured during a Jallikattu that was conducted in Ariyalur district on Thursday. The event was conducted though officials had refused permission, citing improper safety arrangements for spectators. 7 people have been seriously injured and were admitted to the Mahatma Gandhi Memorial Government Hospital in Tiruchi for treatment. So the Jallikattu, the controversy refuses to die down. Akshaya Nath is joining us live. Akshaya, could you tell us as to, how did these spectators manage to get injured? A little more of those details.
Well, Smita, we are being informed that the Jallikattu event happened at Ariyalur district, even though the officials had denied permission, saying that the spectators were not having a proper arrangement for placing them. So what really happened was around 300 bulls were released back to back from the Wadi Vasil. That is the entry point through which the bulls run into the arena where the youth try to hold the bull. So what happens is around 300 bulls were released one after the other, and most of the spectators who were standing in the narrow roads were being attacked by the bull who was running out of the Wadi Vasil. And it was seen that most of these people were immediately being rushed to the nearby hospitals and also to the medical camp which was attached to the venue, Smita. And most of them are with multiple fractures now, and many of them, 7 of them to be precise, are having serious injuries and are being treated at the government hospital at Trichy. The officials have said that this is a serious flaw in the part of the organizers, and that they should have listened to what the government officials had instructed and given a little more time before arranging such a huge event.
Yes, Akshaya, just to stay with us because we are getting in some more information, and I'll come back to you. In fact, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam has said that anti-social elements burned Ice House police station and police vehicles. This, remember, of course, in the wake of the Jallikattu protests that were peaceful for 5 days at Marina. On the 6th day, we saw a lot of violence play out on the streets of Chennai, and now the Chief Minister has spoken out, saying that many anti-social elements were involved and they diverted the protests which had been organized by students in favor of Jallikattu. So, O. Pannirselvam seems to suggest that the kind of arson and fire that we saw on the streets of Chennai in several areas, including one police station being torched out, seems to be the handiwork of anti-social elements. Akshaya Nath continues to be with us. Akshaya, anti-social element is a very broad framework. What is the government really pointing to?
Well, Smita, from day one, we've been seeing that during the protest at Marina, there were many different groups of people which had gathered there, different agendas which were being put across. And during the last 2 days, it was seen that many of those people who had been championing the cause had distanced themselves, saying that many of them are raising anti-national slogans and are saying subjects that are not related to Jallikattu and wanted to distance themselves. And right from that time, we've seen that even the government had been coming down really heavily on those protesters. And on the 7th day, we had seen how violent the entire peaceful protest had converted into. And even during that period, we've been repeatedly told by the police officials as well as the government officials that many anti-social elements had reached into those peaceful protesters and have been instigating a lot of uneventful events. And they were the reason behind why the protesters continued to protest at the Marina Beach. And now we're being told again by Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam that during their investigation they found out that anti-social elements were the reason behind why the entire protest went into such violent
But Akshaya, the question remains, how are they defining anti-social? Do they mean these are gangsters, these are criminals, or these are outlaws that came into the state from other states? How are they defining anti-social?
Well, Smita, at least in Coimbatore, many of the student groups like People's Welfare Front and a few of the left groups and a few Maoist and Naxal groups are being targeted right now. They're being told that those were the groups which were involved in bringing in such a radical movement in most of the districts. At least in Coimbatore, we've been told that police officials have been pointing at they've identified 6 to 7 groups, and they're continuing their investigations on those 6-7 groups, and they've said that these 6 to 7 groups that they've identified will be banned from the state, but the details on the list of those groups are yet to be given out to the media. But right now, from what O. Paneerselvam has said, it's very clear that they are trying to identify the anti-social elements, because we've also been getting visuals of how many places were being torched and how many auto rickshaws and residential areas were also being attacked at Smita.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Akshay Nath reporting on the very latest as far as the Jallikattu Rao is concerned from Chennai. Moving on, after Tamil Nadu making Jallikattu legal, there are now demands to lift the ban on buffalo race Kambala in the neighbouring state of Karnataka. With protests gaining momentum in the state for the buffalo sports, Karnataka government is set to move a bill to legalize it. Supreme Court had ordered the ban on Kambala along with Jallikattu, as animal welfare organizations had petitioned that these traditions perpetrated animal cruelty. Kambala protesters feel that those who petitioned against Jallikattu also misled the court on Kambala, calling it a similar sport, while the fact is that no cruelty is done to animals in the buffalo sport. The chorus for the buffalo sport has support from all political parties in the state. Kambala is nearly 800 years old tradition.
Chair has been taken out by young students here in Mangalore, right at the heart of the city. This is right in front of the DC's office, and they are demanding that they need Kambala to take place because they want Kambala. The whole idea is they want Kambala. You're saying you want Kambala, but they say Kambala is a sport which is which is torturous to animals. What do you have to say?
It is one of the important game. It is one of the cultural game of our Tamil Nadu. So we want Kambala. We are not irritating any animals, but we are treating like our children. So we are not allowing to stop the Kambala.
See, the point is that the argument that is being put forward by people in Tulunadu is the fact that Kambala is a sport. They take care of the bullocks just like their family members, and they do not torture it. And it is very, very, very different from Jallikattu. In Jallikattu, we have seen how people have basically they say that there is amount of torture because people jump onto the bullocks when they are raced, when they are set free on the streets. But here they say it's a tradition. It's a tradition that has gone on for 800 years, and that they would like to keep it alive because it is something that reflects the culture of Tulunadu. This kind of protest that we are seeing is also an outcome of the way the ordinance was brought about by the Tamil Nadu government for Jallikattu. The Karnataka government will soon also move for a similar kind of bill in the state assembly, and also needs to see what the courts will decide, whether they'll decide in favor of Kambala or lifting the ban on it, or whether they will then say that the ban will continue. Based on that, the protests in the entire state of Karnataka will continue. Cameraman Srimurthy Rohini Swami in Mangaluru for India Today.